Znajdujemy się na Mediodayu Ultraligi i udało nam się złapać trenera Goskilli, Kwana. Hello, Kwan.
Hello.
As the head coach, do you have the most important voice when choosing a team?
I think it depends from team to team. I think in this case, for our current roster, I had a pretty important voice when it came to deciding the players. However, I also had have a staff behind me, who's helping me. So it was when it came to deciding which players to pick up, a common decision, and let's say found a common ground when it came to deciding our current roster. So it was a group decision in that sense, I'd say.
What do you pay most attention to when selecting players for the team?
I think something that, for example, talking always about the current roster that we have, something that I spent most attention towards, hasn't been let's say individual skill or individual mechanics, even though of course they're important, but mostly the individual attitude, behavior of the players and how they would interact between each other, trying to create, of course, a team that can over time develop and work as a team, as I said. So probably that's one of the main things I looked at when it came to this roster building process.
In the previous season in Ultraliga, you've made a very good team on paper.
Yes.
Where did you place yourself before the start of the season?
In the upcoming one,
No, the previous roster, like season before.
our expectations were kind of high, of course, but over the run, we kind of realized that the roster was not clicking really well when it came to actual attitude of the players, and there were many many issues inside of the team that we couldn't fix in time. So that's something that I had kind of kept in mind when it came to this roster building, in this new season.
You ended the season in 5th place. Was it a good result for you or not?
For me, of course, it was not. I think for nobody was, but it was very formative, in that sense, because we learned a lot, and we hope that in the new upcoming season, results are going to be better.
So, what do you think? What was the main reason that this result wasn't enough?
Off season sometimes can create situations where probably you are short on time and you have to make decisions, and sometimes they're not the best. And I think when it came to this off season, we had a bit more of time, a bit more of let's say time to decide which players to pick up, and which was going which would have been the best combination, let's say the best group of players. So yeah, that's kind of how it went.
You've been a coach for quite a long time. What do you think are the most important qualities of a good coach?
That's a pretty tough question. I'd say that probably the biggest skill that a coach can have is listening to the players. That's something that sometimes is not that easy to do. But listening to the players and be able to create the perfect environment for each group of people to work at their best, I think it's probably one of the most important and at the same time hardest skill that a coach has, let's say, to master in that sense.
What are the differences between the Ultraliga and Baltic Masters?
There is a huge difference, I'd say. When it came our the split right after we qualified from the Baltics and we came into Ultraliga, it was for me personally, it was a complete shift, because when you get into this kind of marathon, when every week you have to be prepared, you have to be prepared, you have to practice, and you can't really, let's say, stop even for a second, because as I said, it's a marathon, and there are 10 teams. It's not like in Baltics it was less teams, of course. So there are more games. Matches are really important, very, very hard, and of course it's a completely different world in that sense.
Moving to the current lineup, who do you think will be its brightest star?
Can you repeat?
Current lineup, who will be the brightest star in this roster?
That's probably it's impossible to answer. I believe every player in this roster has his role, let's say. Everyone has a role in the team, in the group. So I believe if they will succeed as 5. There will not be one who will be. Maybe someone will be, let's say, mechanically more outstanding compared to the others. But that's probably what the public is gonna see. But for sure, like if they're gonna succeed, it's gonna be because of the group, for sure.
With this roster, do you aim higher than in the previous season?
I mean, of course, like this has been a result also of what we learned in the past. Has been and of our goal is of, for sure doing always better and better.
And do you think that the current roster would beat the previous one?
I think it would be. It depends. I think on. Can you repeat the question?
Do you think that the current roster would beat the previous one?
I think it will be. I don't want to say like close, but it depends on a couple of things. I'd say it will not be like they're gonna beat it like for sure. It's a mix of things, of course, because like when we talk about a team, we talk about also the competition they're gonna compete in, like how the competition is gonna develop. Is always a mix of things. I think all the players were fine. I think this one probably will click a bit better. That's how I see it.
What is your minimum plan for the coming season?
In terms of results, for sure doing better than summer split. Like for sure that's our minimum goal. Like it will be also a proof for us, for me, like for Goskilla in general, that we are improving time by time and we are stepping up in the Polish scene, for sure.